Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stamping Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Welcome if you're watching live or whether you are watching on replay. Thanks very much. Leave comments no matter whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. I'm going to be encouraging everybody to change over to YouTube because Facebook is starting and has already started to delete all my Facebook Lives on Facebook after 30 days, which you want to be able to go back and check them. So if you can switch to YouTube, just subscribe, same system, you can leave messages, etc. And I still see your comments. So don't hesitate to watch on YouTube, but I will be saving as much as I can. And let's wait and see. So I'm just going to throw you up so you can see me. And if you've been following me, you know that it's been a fairly challenging day. I'm not going to raise it now because otherwise I could be in tears, I think. However, it's all okay. You can survive losing every contact that you had in your phone and computer. I've discovered that yes, you can. Now, if you can hear and see me, don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know so I know that technology is at least working as far as this goes. Hi, Glenda, how are you? Kiko's just come out, obviously knows you're hanging around somewhere. Now, for those who don't know me, I do online classes and also in-person classes. I'm based on the Sunshine Coast and I've been a demonstrator for, I don't know, coming up 13 years. Now, this is my last live. I know I was going to leave this to the end, but I'll say it now. This is my last live, not forever. It's okay. Probably for about 6 weeks because I am heading away on holidays. So there's a bit of a rush to kind of get everything ready. So this is my last live. However, I'm still monitoring my emails. I'm still checking all the comments on Facebook and I'll be keeping you up to date as best as I can, a little distant away. So I'll put you back down to the desk and I'll show you what the card is going to be. This is the front of the card. Now, this is not the card I'm making because I wanted to show you the difference that just designer series paper can make. And the idea is this is craft your stash. This is a craft your stash class because you can use what's in your stash. You don't have to go out and buy anything special. So I made for my sample, obviously a masculine one or an earthy one. That's what I would call it. If you're watching, let me know and where you're watching from. So it's got a belly band to hold it together. And I used, where's my dies? I used the Textured Notes stamp set and also the Textured Notes dies, which of course have warped. But they are amazing. Don't know where they went. They'll pop up in a second. Now, this card, I'm going to open this up and I will show you how gorgeous this pop-up card is. And it's called a pop-out explosion card. I know I named it wrong in the description, but I'll update that. So, easy card. It's another one of those cards like last time. Easy card, simple card. You do have to, I give, I suppose, good directions and step by step, and you can follow it through. So, how gorgeous is that? And there's so much versatility in this card because you can make it using your own supplies and how you would like it to look. I don't know. So I'm going to put that just over there and I'll refer back to it. But I'm going to give you the measurements. So this is the time to actually take a photo, a screenshot of the measurements, And basically, I'll read them out very quickly. You need some thick basic white cardstock. Now, if you don't have thick, you can do it in normal cardstock, but it holds together a little better when you're using the thick basic white. Now, and that's 9 by 4 1/4. You need another piece of basic white, but this time not thick, just 6 by 6. You need 3 pieces, and you can work out whether they're the same or whether they're different patterns, but I'd keep them probably to the same DSP bundle. So 4 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I'll explain why those measurements are different. And then you need 2 squares at 2 3/4 inches, and you need a belly band, which is 10 inches by 1 inch. Now, this is one of my favorite cards, and I have made it before. 6-7 years ago I made it, and it was so popular, and I thought it was about time I revisited it. How do you say that? Revisited it. Obviously, I can't say it. Now, I just want to grab my trimmer. Now, you could use your scoring tool if you wished. Now, this is my basic white thick cardstock. It's got a lot more strength. This is and you'll see, you can already see the difference. This one is great for card bases still, but you can see it does lose a little bit of its shape when you drop it like that. So this is why I'm using the thick. Now, so this is 9 inches by 4 1/4. Well, I hope it is anyway. I did a bit of last minute cutting out. So I'm scoring this at half. So that'll be 4 1/2 inches. I meant to write that on. But anyway, so we're scoring at 4 1/2 inches. So this is nearly a square card. It's not exactly, because I've done 4 1/4 here, and from the score line down is 4 1/2. So I'm just going to fold that over, grab my bone folder. Got a whole lot of bone folders here. Picked up a couple extra just recently. Now, I'm going to be using what I call the gorgeous Friends of the Ocean Designer Series paper. Now, I've chopped this up because I've used it a fair bit. So I'll just show you where I'm just grabbing the pieces. Oh, and I found the matching dies that I was looking for before. You can see the gorgeous colours. So this is the absolute opposite of that masculine card that I did as a sample. So this one will be really bright, cheerful. Could use it for any age, but you can hardly not smile when you see this paper. So you can see it's got really bright bright patterns on the back of this paper. Now, all the products that I'm showcasing tonight are available from my online store. Now, the basic white won't be available until the new catalogue comes out, I think, in another month. Now, some of these things are changing. It might be available now, but the price of this cardstock has gone up, as is the price of the basic white cardstock. Now, there are still some, or there were this morning, of the old stock still in my online store. So if you need some basic white and you don't want to pay the price rise yet, now's the time to jump in. And not tomorrow, tonight, so that you don't miss out. So these are my pieces. Now, I said I needed, and I'll just find my little sheet of measurements. So I've done this, and I'll show you that in a second. But I've got 3 by 4 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I did 2 for the inside, so it'll be like that. And this is the one I'm putting on the outside. This one, does it fit? Yes, it does. So I'm going to glue those just whilst I can. Now there is a bit of a secret to this, is one, the direction of your pattern, but you only want to go up to that score line. You don't want to go over it, otherwise it doesn't fold properly. Just up to it and that'll be fine. And you want to glue into the actual corners, and unlike what I normally do, you don't need a lot of glue, but you do need it all the way around because you don't want it to squish out anywhere. Rightio, so hi Glenda. Oh, the other Glenda, I'm saying. Right. So we're just going to put this here. Now, last week, everybody made, well, so many made that card, and they absolutely loved it. Agreed it was easy, loved the step-by-step that was provided. Now, I've got a little bit, I'm not sure you'll be able to see that. I'll turn that over. I've got a little bit of hangover because remember I dropped it back from that score line. So I'm going to grab my scissors and just trim that back. These are my really good, well, I call them my really good Stampin' Up ones, but they don't make them anymore. Well, they don't sell them anymore anyway. So then I'm going to open this up, and I've then got these two pieces of cardstock which I want to run down. Now I don't do one sheet. I could have cut this 9 inches down, but then you have a problem with that fold there. So it's a lot easier to cut it into two pieces and maybe even trim a little tiny bit off each piece. So again, this is the boring bit. You say, I want to see how to do that pop-up center. Thank you, Glenda, for saying you miss me. I'll miss you. But I'm still able to answer your emails. Oops. Just want this nice and straight. So this is busy on the inside, as you can see. You want the multi-purpose glue is perfect for this because you can slide it around a little bit. And I can still answer all your questions or help you. Just may not at the moment. I'm probably pretty quick with my replies. But when I'm traveling, it's a little harder to be able to do that. Now I want this going in the right direction. Now I could have done these in different patterns if I wanted to. But I kind of liked it like that. It's busy, I know. But you get to choose which way you want this. I'm just going to trim off a little tiny bit here. You won't be able to see this on the screen, I don't think. And this one's fine. Hello. So outside, inside. Now I'm going to grab my bone folder again because you can see it's still sitting up a bit. I want to reinforce that fold. Hi Madeline, how are you? Love these colours. Now, the colours, for those who are interested, because you've seen me use this paper a fair bit. This comes from the Friends of the Ocean. It's from the current mini catalogue. Got a little surprise to show you. You've got to stay to the end because I've got some sneak peeks and that you'll be really interested in. But you can see how gorgeous this paper is. And the featured colours are Melon Mambo, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Lemon Lime Twist, my favourite colour ever, Summer's Flash, challenging it a little bit, and Berry Burst. So absolutely, it's just gorgeous and bright and really makes you want to be happy. So the next thing I'm grabbing is something that has walked on my desk, which I don't know how. Oh, here it is. Got caught up. Is my 6 by 6 inch piece of basic white cardstock. And there's 3 score lines that you do, not 4, so don't get too carried away. So you're going to do I just need to move this along, shift a couple of those things out, move this along so you can actually see it. So I'm going to be scoring at 3 inches. And then I'm turning it around 90 degrees and doing 3 inches again. So it creates 4 little squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure you'll be able to see this in a second. I think you can see. So there's a score line there and a score line there. Then you've got 1 more score line. Doesn't really matter which direction you put this on, because you can flip it if it's in the wrong direction. And you just, I want to show you this. So you're going to put that corner and that corner directly on the running track, because you want to cut corner to corner. Now, just in case you have really blunt blades, normally blunt blades, start your cutting blade in the center of your cardstock, go up there and come back. Because if you hit those corners, because the corners are so sharp, you can run the risk of buckling that in a little bit. Ah, did you see what I just did? Did I tell you not to, oh, wait a minute, not to cut that and score it instead? Where were you? You're supposed to be watching. We can see everything. Hi, Myrtle. So I'll just go back and do those things and you can laugh at me. But I think this is just a sign of my day. So this time, instead of cutting, I'm going to score. Please do not cut it. I know. So we're scoring from corner to corner. Whew. Hopefully none of you were following along with me. If not, you might have to do what I just did. So I have a score line there, score line there, and a score line there. Now, just going to put that like that so that I'm actually on the square on my grid paper. So they're my main score lines, and it's my diagonal. So I'm getting it nice and square on my paper. And now I could have cut 2 of these exactly the same, exactly the same pattern, but I wanted this on one side and this on the down side, whereas I didn't want that orange, well, pumpkin pie. So again, I'm going to cut this. Hopefully this works. I'm pretty sure it does. If not. So this time I'm cutting, not scoring. And it pays to be accurate. Then I'm doing the same. This is just the back of one of those pattern paper. Could do this. Oh, I like this. Let's just do this. Hopefully it doesn't go upside down. We'll see. Again, I'm cutting it, and that moved. A little rotter. Wait a minute, I'm going to have to cut that again. It moved at the last minute. Where's a piece of that cardstock? I know. So I'm just cutting this, and you'll see now what paper I'm using. Isn't this gorgeous? So I want to cut it at 2 3/4. It's not a bad thing that you see me cut paper out, because I notice that we all cut things a little different. Now I turn this around so that I can, this is not working as well as I'd like it to, so that I can get my measurements. Now I can get this sheet up the top. So I'm going to move this along so you can see what I'm doing. So it's lined up with 2 3/4. And I'll just cut this. Righto. This time I'll pay a little more attention and not look at all your comments. Glenda says we can see everything. I'm not sure what that means. Hopefully you can't see my house because I'm in the middle of packing. And that's not necessarily a thing of beauty. Now, I'll bring this back over and I'll show you what this looks like. So, I'm doing these pieces. So, let's just move these over a little bit so you can see I'm actually doing it like that. So, I've actually turned that around, so it's now on the diagonal. And I'm going to put the patterned paper on top here. Fingers are a little sticky and then this one on here, then this one here, and this one here. So you can see how you get that really nice pattern. But before I do that, I'm going to just use my bone folder to just lightly score this. I'm doing it lightly because I'm not sure which direction this is going to be going in. That's a good opportunity if your score lines are slightly off to just also get those corners right. And then I'll just do this. Now I may have to turn this back. You'll see what happens once I glue it down. For somebody who has, as I always say, no spatial capacity, this is why you do it lightly. I'm just trying to get this all lined up. Right out. So I'm bringing it back down here and I'm putting the square that has no score lines going through it on like this. So I'm just put this out of the way. And let's put these on here. Now they're really simple. As you can see, this does not take very long. I love these little starfish. So for this card to work, I'll put this piece here, and that looks nice. I think what will happen though, actually I'm going to do that way. The pattern just reverses if and so one is upside down. It's just by the nature of a one-way pattern. So it's easier if you don't work with one-way patterns. So I'll turn this over. You can see how this melon mumbo. Did I cut that wrong? Am I having a bad night? I'm having a bad day, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, I did it 2.5. See, I'm off. Let's do this properly. So it should be 2 3/4. Just going to a new bit. And then 2 3/4 again. And so it's a square. Sorry about that. Again, I'll cut this. In case you didn't guess, I only started prep for this after trying to fix my contacts or fighting my computer all day. This will look a little better. Let's bring this back over. That's a better size. You can always tell when it's the wrong size. You just get a different border. Let's put that down there. And you're really going to like this because it's one of those cards that until you put it together, you go, oh yeah, doesn't look special, but once you put it together, it really pops. I think that might be why it's called a pop out. So you can see I've put this on the diagonal to that first one. So I didn't put it down here. It'd look a bit funny. So what then happens is this sits like that. And I'll show you my original card so you can see how it's similar. But before I do that, I want to add a few little stamps. Now, I haven't planned these stamps in any way, shape or form, let's be honest. So we'll see what happens here. So I'm picking my favourite colour, which is Lemon Lime Twist. I just want to straighten this up a little bit. Oh. Let's have a play. Normally I'd have a definite play with this. I might grab my Summer Splash, which is the other colour. Just going to stamp this off. There's not much in this. This time I'm going to, that's better. I might have to do this now. Should have trialed this. This is one of those. Oh, these are looking. I have to somehow make this work now. I should have trialed these before I stamped. Let's just see. I'm going to do some stamping off because I need to fix this just a smidgen to make it have some coherence. Very busy, isn't it? But you get the idea. Oh, wait a minute, I missed a bit there. Because it's a clear stamp, you can easily line it up. And I'm not stamping off very well. This is getting busier and busier. But we'll see what it looks like at the end. I'm going to grab, there's a little seaweedy, little leafy bit here. Let's see if I can just, don't ask me what I'm going to do with it. I like it, and it does need a little bit of you can see there's a theory that if you can't find a space for it, you shouldn't be using it. Probably that applies here. I'll turn this around. This is a bit busy. This is something I would normally have trialed before on my grid paper, to be honest. Righto. Let's see how that turns out. I think it might be okay. It's not exactly what I had pictured. But anyway, but you get the idea. You can stamp using your stamp sets. Now, so you're going to fold this in half. Decide which is your top, which is your bottom. Like this, don't ask me why. Fold it in half. You're going to grab a ruler and a pencil and very lightly. Now this is 4 1/4, so at 2 1/8 inches, you're going to put a little mark. As I always say, a blind man would be happy to see this. I don't think they'll even see it. And you're lining that mark up with where those score lines actually meet there. So it's going to sit like that, and it's going to come right up to the fold line, but not over the fold line. Now the easy thing here, so I've decided this is my underneath. I'm going to flip it over and just glue that full square, not those triangles, just the full square. And this is how easy this turns out. They look hard, but if you do it like this, you won't have any problems. So you can see I'm going right up to the fold line, lining up that point and the mark that I did before. A little hard to see. Oh, needed to go up a little bit more. I'll grab my bone fold if I can find one. And then I'm going to add to this other square, not the triangle. So who else is going to have a go at this? You say we haven't seen it yet. Glenda, no, I haven't got my computer fixed. I took it to, wait a minute, let's do one thing at one time. So I'm leaving this closed and then folding this over. Just gonna, it doesn't want, I've got, must have that up just a smidgen. That's better. And use my bone folder. I've taken it to the computer guy, and basically he said, because I've deleted it, but it didn't delete to somewhere. It doesn't, it's not a file I can recover because it comes with my previous email server. Now, he did say he would be able to individually do it, but that just didn't seem to make any sense to me. Rightio, so this is what it looks like open. These two sides are going to come in. Hope you're watching this. So just hold these two corners on the side and bring it in. And they fold in. Again, I just use my bone folder and I'll do it back and front. Now on this card, see, I always tell you when I make a mistake. On this card, so you can see how that comes in, I actually put it on upside down. So I had to add another piece, which solved that issue. You know me. There's always a solution when you make a mistake. Sometimes today I had to recut. So this is how it's going to look. Look at that. And actually that stamping doesn't look too bad at all. It's not my first choice, but it will still look okay. And these are quite plain, thank heavens. But you can see I've just brought the colours in, which is what I want to do. So let's decorate the front. Now, I've already kind of planned, not that I cut this out, but I had it actually in my Stylish Shapes die pack. See how I've got all these? I'm trying to charge my phone as well. See how I have all these leftovers? So I'm going to add that to that. I'm going to add a belly band to hold it all together. And I've cut out a piece from the designer series paper, which I can then use one of the dies. Just got to find my dies. This is what happens because you have a small desk and we line everything up on top of each other. Here they are. Okay. So it actually comes with a die for this. So I had this left over as well. So I always keep my leftover pieces. So I've got this gorgeous, is it a crayfish? Is it a lobster? I don't know. We had a discussion last time I used this. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss machine because I'm having a lot of trouble with my arm again. I know. So for this, I'm using platform 1 and both platform 2s. Now, for those that perhaps haven't used a mini cut and emboss machine, which is slightly different than the full-size one, is you need to feather these back. If they go like that, there's a really big jump, as you can see. You know, that's quite thick. So you feather them back so that your machine is going from one to the next to the next. I'll put this here. I want to line these up. I think I've got some. Now, you hear me say you need it lined up in at least 4 places. If you've got it right in 4 places, it'll be right everywhere. So I pick the top pieces around here. I try and pick what I would call the critical places. I'm just grabbing, not sure I've got any, no, I don't. So I've got a little bit of washi tape. Yeah, they're talking to me. Oh, that didn't work. Wait a minute. I'll get some low tack tape out of my drawer here. Oh, look, there's some here. I've just got some low tack tape. Washi tape can work as well, and our masking tape can work as well. But sometimes I find it just a little too adhesive, and you've got to take some of that adhesive off. So just want to check I've got this in the right spot. Moved it a little bit. Sometimes this can be tricky. Then I'm grabbing my little plate. Remember, I'm feathering it back. And this is why this one, for me, with my wrists and hands, is a better option. I know. Now, you know I'm a little OCD. Oh, that didn't help at all. I know. So I'm going to gently peel off this tape. So even if you're using low tack tape, don't rush it. And these are the, what do they call? Ocean Friends bundle. Let's get rid of that. Put this back so I don't lose it. I want to show you, this comes with a wave pattern. Remember, I lost this die, and you know how I blame Kiko today for perhaps being involved in the loss of my contacts. She was involved in the loss of that one. She found it, I'd say, on the floor and then took it away to play. So it's got this lobster, it's got these gorgeous seaweed, it's got some little starfish, some little leaves, and a crab to cut out as well. So let's go back. So at this stage, you can see how we've got this here. It's pretty busy. I might have to make some choices here yet. And I'm going to actually, I might have to go back to white. Yeah. And I'm going to use some of the what is it called? Summer Splash cardstock to make the belly band. So I'll grab my trimmer. And remember, I'm cutting this out at 9 inches, so I'm just going to cut it down at 1 inch wide. Now, there's so many things you can do with belly bands. I could add some designer series paper to it as well. Oh, that was just my trimmer blade. They can fall out, especially when they're as old as mine. They go straight back in. There's no issues with them. I'll just show you how to put it back in, just in case yours has popped out. There's a little parking area here. So you just put it in there and it's right to go again. Crustacean when all else fails. Thank you, Glenda. Hello. So I'm just going to leave that there. The reason I changed from the Melon Mumbo, oh, sorry, I've shifted you, was that there wasn't a lot of it, but there's not a lot of that either. I think the Melon Mumbo might be a little better. I think I'm going to have to go back to the Melon Mumbo. I hadn't kind of picked that up. Let's cut that. Using a bit of cardstock here. All those leftovers I will actually use though. So I'm cutting this back, just taking 2 inches off it to make it 10 inches. Or just under 10 inches, but I've got a bit of room to move. So remember, that's the inside of the card. So I'm going to wrap the belly band around. Now, the easy way to wrap a belly band, you can score it, you can measure it, or you can use your fingers, which you don't want it too tight because you want it to be able to slide on and off. And the join I always put at the front because it's going to be hidden by the circle die. Now, the other thing that I do, I always use some tear and tape for this job. Now, on the other one, I wrapped some ribbon around it because I felt it needed it. So one goes on this edge underneath, this one, sorry, on top of the end, and this one goes underneath. So see how that will match? So it's pretty easy doing it like this, and it's quite strong, this paper, this tape. I'm going to grab, now, sometimes your tear and tape, especially in hot weather, needs a bit of burnishing. So rubbing down so that this layer picks off really easy. And you see how easy that is. Oh, I picked up a couple of mini dimensionals, but they'll still work. So I don't want this tight, but I'll wrap it back around. Hopefully I do. I'm just making sure that all this is going the same direction. I'm going to put that there. Now, before I actually assemble this, I'm not going to add too much to it. I'm going to add the sentiment, which is just hello friend. So I've got some Melon Mumbo. It stamps nicely, that sentiment. I've used it a fair bit. It's a nice generic sentiment. So I'm just trimming off the end of this because I find the trimmer does a nicer end. Okay, so let's have a look at how we're going to pull this together. I think having too many colours here is a bit much. So I'm just going to do it like that. So I'm going to keep everything flat until I get to that bit there. So this is the first bit. So it's pretty easy. I just need to center it. Top, bottom, side to side. I'm going to put this on at a bit of an angle. So Remember, I only want the glue on that circle. I've got this going at a bit of an angle. Then I'm adding my little pink crustacean. Oh, that didn't stick. I shifted it, grabbed it and pulled it off. Then I'm not still sticking this up because I don't want this to raise. This one will actually go. Oh, I didn't want all that. Now, I'll show you. You've seen this trick a few times. So I'm just rubbing some of the glue off, but I don't want it sticky at all. So I'll grab my embossing buddy, just take that sticky stuff off, then it won't stick forever. So we'll put that like that, and then I'm going to pop this up. Use some dimensionals, which I must have sitting here. Now, if you were looking for somewhere to leave the sentiment, you have the back of the card. But this is, I mean, most people will do that, and I'll probably add a sentiment, like something, once I work out what I'm going to use this card for. Just got a little stuck. Then let's get this nice and straight. I know. So there's the front of the card. All right, then I'm going to slide off the belly band. See how easy that slides off. And then whooshka. Now, if you wanted to, and in the original I did, I added a little sentiment down the bottom here. But you don't have to, and you can add just sentiment to the back of the card. But I got a bit carried away, didn't I? However, before I move on, I got one more. Well, I've got a couple more things to show you, but I want to use. Got to have some bling on this card. It's so bright, so I'm using the Sunny Days iridescent dots, and it, as you see, it matches the colours on this. Oh, I forgot to do something. Mind you, I don't think there's room. I forgot to stamp something on the inside, but there's probably not room. I'm just going to put this back. Let's not overdo it. You say, it's come pretty close to that already. I'm just going to use some of the Summer Splash. Little gems, little embellishments. These are gorgeous. So I've added a little bit of bling. And so card number 2, card number 1. So you can see the difference. One is classical, very neutral in colours. The other one pops like you've never seen. So actually, though, I do see, I've just got to trim this, open this up, and I forgot to do this. I need those scissors. This is just hanging over a little bit, so I just need to trim that up. And that'll happen. That's just one of those ways that you tidy up a card. Doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It's just a way of making it look a little neater and a little more professional. So we have 2 cards, and I'll show you the insert. So this is the first one, probably good masculine card, plain, has lots of texture, has neutral colours, involves nature. So it's perfect for a male. And I've got just the card because one of my neighbours came over and helped me fix something in preparation for the cyclone. And then this one is bright, cheerful, and really sings. So, which card would you make? Or would you make a masculine one or one with really bright colours, or a floral one. And would you actually make this card? Hi Sharon, how are you? I'm just checking the comments before I go now, but I do have a couple of things to show you. I've got a surprise. Look at this. I have the new annual catalogue, which goes live on, I'm guessing, about the 5th of May. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th of May. I can't show you what's in it because Stamping Up stopped me, but you can see some of the things on it. Ooh, you might be able to see some of the things on the back. But if you would like me to be your demonstrator, and you would like to order a catalogue, you have 1 day to let me know, because I'm about to put in the mailing selector, because I'll be away, so I need Stamping Up to send them out this time. So that's number one. I just thought, because I'm away, you're not going to see any sneak peeks. I thought I'd show you a couple of sneak peeks tonight. Now, these are my 2 favourite designer series paper. You can see I've turned very bright and cheerful. Well, you know what I mean, like just bright, happy colours. Love this paper. I was nearly going to make it the projects tonight, but the patterns were just that little too big. Now, they're also introducing some new ink colours, and I'll walk you through those as well. How gorgeous is this though? Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now I'm expecting, and I haven't checked, that some of these dies will cut out. Some of those images will cut out by the dies. And this one as well, so it's drinks, looks so summery. But look again at these colours. Love them. So there's a few new colours in here, and I'll actually show you the sheets. I think I can. Yep, I can. So how gorgeous and bright. I love that Stamping Up has for the last 2 years, counting this year, gone for really, really bright colours. I thought I'd show you the in colours and just also give you a little bit of news. Now, one of the in colours is Strawberry Slush, which I didn't get. You asked me why. Probably because it's in my boxes in the back room, but I didn't get time to look. So we have Cloud Cover, beautiful grey blue, Timid Tiger. Don't you love these names? Timid Tiger. Darling Duckling. And probably my favourite, the one I think I'll use the most, which isn't as bright as some of the others, but Secret Sea. So it's kind of like a grey blue, marine blue. I'd love to have my house painted kind of this sort of colour or as a trim. And the other would like to see, wait a minute, Glenda's saying I'd probably make it. Both are good, but I like the Fun Bright one best. And Glenda's going to have a go at as well. There was what I had to say, just as a reminder, don't forget about cardstock going up in the new catalogue. Order now before it runs out. Now the other thing is, with this Cloud Cover, at this stage there is no matching ink pad that goes with it. Stamping Up have really, really high quality control with their stamp pads and basically with everything. And this one just didn't hold its colour as much as it would like. And so they're just testing it a little further. So you can get the cardstock, you can get the marker pens, you can get the blends, but just the ink pads. So just be aware there's only 4 ink pads at this stage. That may change. But there's 5 packs of cardstock, one being these Strawberry Slush. I think it's Strawberry Slush anyway. Ideo, that's it for me. I will see you in about 6 weeks, so at the start of May. and I'll be sharing what I'm doing over the next few weeks, and hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. And just for those that are worried about Kiko, she's got her house sitters coming in to spoil her, so she will be well looked after as well. Okay, everybody, have a really good week. Hope you enjoy lots of crafting this week. I can't wait to catch up with you. Wait a minute, I need to catch up here. Don't ask me where this is. Take that out of the way. We'll miss you. I'll miss you lots and lots. Oh, we took the camera away. Oh, no, we didn't. So I will miss you, but know that I am here if you still need a hand. And my online store is still running all the time whilst I'm away. Need help? Don't hesitate to send me a message and I'll get back to you. Bye for now. I've had a fun night. Had a few hiccups as crafting sometimes does. Miss you all. See you soon.